Hello everyone, and welcome to my series on Skyforge, boss tactics, dungeon runs. I'll be going over the solo adventures in Skyforge and giving tips I know to complete them faster and better. Tips on the mobs you fight, different engagements and bosses, and their mechanics. Some hidden bosses and strategies. So I'm doing first Okki Island. As you can see here, it is one of the first instances you will be able to run. It has its mechanics and challenges that if you master them, you will be able to do it faster and get more rewards. So, you will run into these mobs of ratmen. The weaker ones are the pack mobs, which you try to kill before they reach you. And then the ones with swords over their heads are a little tougher DPS mobs that have one ability that you must avoid. The Verd fighters will charge up and attack an overhead smash that will hit in a line in front of them. So you can see here, this fellow, I knocked him over. Now throughout the Okki Island are these holes, and hands will appear out of them and chase you down. The purple ones are damage hands and will do a little chunk of damage. So you want to avoid or outrun those. Now the second mob you will run into is the Verd Shaman. These you want to kill quickly, as they will summon other pack mobs. Use my finisher on him. There we go. And you see the summoned Verds that he has called upon me. Got two Verd patrollers. See, there's his overhead smash. There you have it. So you try to take out typically the support mobs first, the ones that summon other mobs. Now this is the first boss, Grun the Flaming Axe.
This creature killed our men. Watch out for the axe.
He's fairly simple for a boss. He has one major mechanic, that is an overhead smash, like that, you want to avoid. And he will spread flames everywhere. So what you want to do is maneuver into an area so you don't mind if there's a carpet of flames. And always give yourself an escape route when he does the attack. Move out of the way. Now he can cover most of the arena with these flames. You'll have to take most of his auto attacks between the big strikes. See how he has filled the area with flames. You don't want to stand in them. Fairly damaging. Just DPS him down. And keep dodging his overhead attacks. See, I've got him down to about halfway. Just keep working on him.
The birds know you are coming.
That's
Be
about
careful.
all he will do. Go this direction up the hill. You'll sometimes be ambushed. Just expect an engagement pretty evenly spaced throughout these levels. There will rarely be much open space without anything in it. AoE down these pack mobs. Then you'll run into new DPS mob called the Carrion Fighter. It will go berserk and just start swiping, chasing you around. Just try to keep out of it. If you are a melee character, you want to stun those Carrion Fighters over and over again when they use their special ability. That's the basic mechanic between ranged and melee. Skyforge's melee depend on CC to manage not getting hit by the different mechanics of normal mobs. Now there is also the Carrion Flayer, which is a support mob that will, if you kill other things, he will eat dead bodies to heal himself. And he will also try to hit you with an attack you must dodge out of. You'll see arrows appear at your feet, and you dodge to avoid that damage. Here's another ambush of pack mobs. Just use best AoE skills. Another Carrion Flayer. We should focus on him first. Burst him down. Now these light hands that come out of the holes are healing hands. They're helpful hands for you or whatever you're fighting. They will try to heal the enemies, and you can intercept them by walking into them. They will heal you instead, which is an important mechanic for Okki Island and the final boss at the end, as we will see.
We barely caught our breath after the first wave.
Here is the second boss.
It tore one of our men apart.
The Flayer. He is a large Flayer, and he has an important mechanic to learn. You want to kind of stay close to him, as he will summon a burrow, and the main mechanic is you need to destroy that burrow before he reaches it. Just like that. And at the beginning, you have to be literally right next to him, ready to press space in order to stop him. And he also berserks and will just flail mindlessly at you. So try to back up if you can. The bosses are immune to stun and CC, so you can't break him out of it. So if you're a melee class, you have some range skills usually, so try to back up and use those while he's going berserk. He's an interesting boss, as if you go and fight him in a group, he has some extra mechanics, which are interesting. I think they try to change solo versus group mechanics on bosses, which is an interesting decision. But he, when you're playing with other players, will charge up and do a linear running attack that will knock you over. It's pretty high damage, so you want to avoid that if you're playing with other people. The final boss also has an extra group mechanic, which I will discuss. This is the only adventure that I know of that has different solo and group mechanics, but it could exist elsewhere on other instanced adventures. Just be ready for his burrow after he's done with his berserk. Might have to move towards it. Hit the space bar.
They surrounded us and drove us towards the center of the island. I don't remember escaping.
Okki Island is always a good run for me. It has many bosses. Once you figure them out, they don't take long to defeat, so that you can get class sparks rather easily from Okki Island. Slightly longer, so it gives you good rewards. See that healing hand has healed the berserker. So I didn't get there in time. This encounter, particularly, you have to watch that entrance to intercept the healing hands. They spawn frequently. Just keep avoiding their overhead smashes, berserk attacks. Now this is where you'll notice on the map it kind of has a junction, and while the objective is up there, the final boss, you can go down this way into the bushes and trees. You'll notice a little beach, the skeleton of a large creature. There's a extra boss, the Ancient Verax. Now, why would you want to defeat him? You don't have to, but he will give you class sparks and equipment, boss rewards, so he's kind of a bonus boss. He has one attack there, which is a big headbutt. He will rear up and headbutt forward. Just keep strafing and dodging. Avoid that. If you're not near him, sometimes he will cancel the attack. Then you will beat his tail on the ground, summon some eggs, and some small Verax will come out. I use AoE to take them down. It's always a good idea to stay mobile. Always keep an eye on the situation and what the boss is doing. But it is important, especially on higher difficulty bosses, to avoid their big attacks. because the boss will usually last long enough that if you haven't avoided all of its attacks, it will have done enough damage to kill you. As the fight progresses, as it gets less health bars, it will summon more and more ads when it does its tail thump summoning move. And there you have it. It will drop a box with sparks and a ring. If you have a mount, you can use it to cover this distance faster. Then we'll come to the last encounter, the toughest mob group, if you will. It has a Bird Fighter, Carrion Berserker, Bird Shaman, and Carrion Flayer. So you want to target the Bird Shaman and the Flayer first. I usually, as a Lightbinder, will buff myself up. Like that, and this is a good time to use your ultimate. I'll then use my big AoE ultimate. And then mop up what's left. Right, this is the last boss on Okki Island.
This creature feeds on corpses. They tried to force us right into its jaws.
Now, if you know his mechanics, he's pretty easy. Otherwise, he's kind of a boss that seems like he has extra health. It takes longer to take down with just your abilities. So, start the fight, and you'll notice there are holes all around the battlefield behind him. Will spawn hands. You try to intercept the light hands, because they will heal him. Then you position yourself behind him and have the damage hands hit him. Like so, they will spawn from many different directions. So, it's mainly a fight where you're moving a lot. Add a little extra damage with your own attacks. But most of the damage will come from positioning yourself behind Adior and allowing the purple damage hands to do most of the work. The extra mechanic that this boss has, if you're in a group, is it will do a big AoE stomp that will throw you up in the air. I think this is the only boss that will throw you up in the air in solo adventures. But it will CC you for a few seconds. So try to back up if you see it coming. So as you can see, I've almost got him beat just from getting him with all the purple hands. This last one should finish him. And you're done. Gave me a blue rod. Sparks. That is the general tactics for Okki Island. I will be doing more videos on some of the other adventures and their bosses that I've learned to defeat well, and I hope this helps you in your adventures in Skyforge. Thanks for watching.